Try not to do too long. All right, everybody ready? All right, hello. My name is Grant Smith Ellis. If you missed it today, the breaking news is that Donna Adelson has been sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole, plus a sentence of 30 years to be served consecutively for the conspiracy to murder law professor Dan Markel. Of course, Dan Markel was the ex-spouse of Donna's daughter, Wendy Adelson. And today, following a multi-year, 9 to 10 year process that saw Donna's son Charlie sent to prison, that saw the two hitmen, Luis Rivera and Sigfredo Garcia, sent to prison, that saw the middle woman in the transaction, Katie Magbanua, Charlie Adelson's, one of his former partners with connections to the Latin Kings, sent to prison. And then we saw Donna Adelson sent to prison. But in what could become a potentially ominous forewarning, we saw Donna's husband, Harvey, stand up before Judge Everett and try to relitigate the case. Harvey shockingly began attacking jurors and the system and the change of venue motion that was denied by that man, Judge Everett, who has presided over both Charlie's trial and now Donna's trial. Furthermore, the big question remains, will it be Wendy Adelson that will be charged next? Will it be Harvey Adelson that will be charged next? Harvey Adelson certainly did himself no favors today with the way he behaved in front of Judge Everett. We're going to watch it all, but let's start with the moments that saw Donna Adelson sent to jail for the rest of her life, ladies and gentlemen. Life without parole, plus 30 years to be served consecutive for Donna Adelson at the hands of Judge Everett.
Nation to bring the murder of Professor Markel to fruition was significant in this case. These were not crimes of chance or opportunity, and these crimes also required you to conspire with your son and others. You certainly can choose to deny your involvement and maintain innocence. The court finds the evidence in this case is clear. You will be sentenced accordingly this afternoon. The jury has found you guilty on charges of first-degree murder, conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, and solicitation to commit first-degree murder, and the court previously adjudicated you guilty as to these same charges on September 4th of this year. On count one of the indictment for first-degree murder, you are hereby sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole or release pursuant to sections 782.04 and 775.082 sub 1 sub A Florida statutes. On count two of the indictment, conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, you are hereby sentenced to 30 years in the Department of Corrections that will run consecutive to count one. The court will also sentence you to 30 years in the Department of Corrections on count three. Counts 2 and 3 are to run concurrent with each other, but consecutive to count one. As to the fees and costs, the clerk can please announce those at this time.
There we saw the recitation of the fees and the costs. Now, we will watch the Harvey Adelson moment. It was just absolutely stunning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to bring it up for you right here on your screen. My name is Grant Smith Ellis. You're going to see us scroll a little bit till we get to the video of Harvey. And by the way, thank you again to the 5,000 of you that checked in over on the Towel X today. Those are big numbers for Little Towel, ladies and gentlemen, and I am grateful for all of your support and compassion. Let us take a look at the video of Harvey. I know I have it uploaded. All right, here it is. Is this it? Nope. Wait a minute. Where's the video of Harvey? I have it. I know I uploaded it. It'll be a video, not a live. Yes, here it is. I got it. See what I mean, Little Towels?
Will be the truth.
Towel always gets his Harvey Adelson clip. All right, so let's go down a little bit. Why is it like that? I wanted it to be the same as... Oh, I know why. Hold on one second. All right, one second. Let me center it. All right, thank you. That should be close enough. All right, so this is Harvey Adelson, folks, speaking at Donna Adelson's sentencing, and we're going to take a listen to this right about now, and this was quite a moment. If you were watching live, there was a lot of oh my goodnesses in the chat, whether from Colleen Henry, Buck Towel, or otherwise. It was a wild moment. Let's watch it. And let me turn this audio down. I don't want to spike it too much, but the audio is not always the best on these recordings. So.
Will be the truth.
Yes, I do.
You can lower your hand. You may speak.
Thank you, and respected officers of the court, for allowing me to speak. I have been Donna Adelson's husband for over 50 years. My wife sacrificed everything so that she could pour her heart and soul into our children, our grandchildren, and our marriage. Summer was our 54th wedding anniversary, and I had to spend it without her, hand in mine. She has done nothing wrong, and yet is being punished for a crime that she did not commit. I thought we lived in a different kind of world, but I guess I was wrong. I have listened, watched, and sat in the courtroom for the entire trial, and I could not help but scream in my mind by the witnesses that were brought forward by the prosecution, who told outright lies. I didn't know that you could lie in a courtroom, but apparently you can. Danny's parents contend that they have never seen their grandchild. But for years they say they've never seen her. But Wendy has shared with me pictures and videos and letters from their visits. They have suffered immensely at the loss of their son, but they also contend to tell lies to the court about our grandchildren. Donna has always been a loving and caring wife and is innocent of the charges. A biased judge and jury were influenced by years of one-sided news pieces and social media.
Dr. Mrs. Fulford, this has nothing to do with character of the defendant or relates to sentencing.
May I have just one moment, please?
Go ahead.
Thank you. Just 1 second, please.
I can't believe this is happening right now. First of all, I can't believe Harvey Adelson spoke like that. And then second of all, I can't believe Judge Everett just cut him off. What is the defense going to do? Oh my goodness. My name is Grant Smith Ellis, folks. This is crazy. This is the craziest thing I've ever seen. I can't believe this is happening right now.
All right, thank you for letting me continue. Donna did not participate in the heinous acts that she was convicted of doing. You are sending an innocent woman to prison. You have taken my wife, and you have taken my life as well. And for what? This is not justice. It is vengeance, and it is wrong.
That was all he had to say. Now, we are going to look at Donna's. I cannot believe Harvey Adelson called Judge Everett biased. That was ridiculous. That no wonder Judge shut him down. My name is Grant Smith Ellis. That was just a foreshadowing of the unbelievable moments that Donna Adelson then brought upon us by speaking at her own sentencing, not sworn, but still, these were wild moments. This was the the sentencing was the culmination. But the fact, watch how this plays out. I don't care if you are a learned trial observer or someone new to this discipline, or you just watch this because you find these cases interesting or because you want to see justice delivered. I have never seen anything like this. Remember, we just saw Donna Adelson's husband, Harvey, get scolded for attacking the prosecution and the witnesses and the judge and the jury and the forum, the where the case was heard, okay? We just heard that happen. That was a preview. Mind you, that was the second warning Judge Everett gave when Dr. Gruber, one of Donna's first witnesses called as a character witness today, got up there. He did the same thing. And Judge Everett stopped him from speaking. So I'm telling you, Donna should have known, her attorney should have known, and we're going to find out at the end of this section that Donna's attorneys were under the mistaken impression that she could just get up there and show no contrition and it couldn't be held against her. I'll tell you right now, it was held against her, and Judge Everett's going to tell her that midway through. Donna herself chose to speak. She won the argument of not having to do it under oath. She chose to speak, and look what she does. I cannot believe that this woman did this. She goes down the exact same path as Harvey, gets scolded by judge, not just scolded, directly told her utter lack of remorse is going to be held against her, and then she just keeps going. And Judge Everett has to stop Donna again, and then she keeps going. It was baffling, and it was not out of left field. Judge Everett telegraphed that he was going to do this. During Harvey's statement, during Dr. Gruber's statement, Judge Everett was saying, don't do this. Donna then goes up there and does it. And you can tell it did her no favors to get up there and fake talk about Dan Markel and how much she cared about his life. She immediately stops crying, goes into attacking the court, and then gets shut down by Judge Everett. You'll hear my real-time reaction. I couldn't believe what I was seeing, ladies and gentlemen, or hearing. You're now going to see it. This was wild. Those of us in the chat who watched this whole trial, watched the moments where Donna decided not to testify, tried to make it into a game. We were waiting to hear what this woman had to say. My goodness, for it to be this was as bad as possible. This was watching the good ship Hindenburg not just go down, but literally just stop midair and then fall to the ground. It may as well have been a scene out of Wile E. Coyote. Okay, I've never seen anything like this. I don't mean to add a comic level to this, but I'm trying to prepare you for what you're about to see. It's so fake, her contrition at the beginning, and then it immediately turns down the exact same path that Harvey was told not to go, and she just implodes. Donna. It's more than just having a meltdown, as many people predicted. She implodes herself and starts just arguing the merits of the case. You have to see it to believe it. That's the best intro I can give you. Take it away, crazy lady.
Thank you for letting me speak. My son-in-law, Dan Markel, was a and decent man. He was well educated and passionate about his career. He was a good son-in-law, but more importantly, he was a caring and loving father. On July 18th, 2014, his car was followed, leaving his home. It should have been just like any other day, an ordinary day in the life of Ben and Lincoln's father, but it wasn't. He didn't know when he left his boys off at daycare that would be the last time he would see them, and the last time they would see him. He didn't know when he went to the gym afterwards that would be the last time he would exercise. And he didn't know when he drove home that his life would end within minutes. Danny wasn't just being followed, he was being hunted. He was brutally murdered in broad daylight, sitting in his car, in his garage, by vicious killers. I cannot imagine the terror he felt when he saw a gun pointed at him through the window of his car. I cannot conceive of his heroic efforts to stay alive during the hours after the attack. Danny died in the early morning hours of July 19th. His death is a loss to his children, his parents, his sister, all of us in his family, his friends, his colleagues in the legal community, and to his students at FSU Law School. Danny's boys each have a photo of themselves with their Abba, their dad, beside their beds. They grew up kissing the framed photo and saying, "Good night, Abba, I love you." But pictures and memories are all they have because cruel, cold-hearted people took him from all of us who loved him. My heart was broken when Danny died. My grandsons were going to grow up without the father who loved them. I wondered, how could we help these boys through this trauma? It was then that my husband and I knew that the best way to honor Danny's memory would be to share with these children an abundance of love, the love that Danny would have given them if he were alive. It is interesting how the state can't make up its mind about who is what they call the, quote, mastermind behind this murder. In both of Catherine Magbanowa's trials, the state claimed she was the mastermind behind Danny's murder. In my son Charlie Adelson's trial, they claimed he was the mastermind. And now in my trial, they claimed that I, this grandma, was the mastermind behind the murder. I had no idea that other people planned to cut Danny's life short. And the people who did this are exactly where they deserve to be. But I had no knowledge that this horrible, evil act was going to take place. If I had become aware of this plan before Danny was murdered, I would have stopped it. With not one iota of actual evidence, the state convinced a Tallahassee jury that I solicited and conspired with other people to have Danny killed. Where is the evidence prior to the murder? The evidence beyond a reasonable doubt that the state needed to prove their case. Where is the evidence before July 18th, 2014 at 10:50 in the morning?
Before you continue,
That
Mrs.
revealed-
Adelson, as it relates to this statement, is the defense trying to re-argue the trial?
No, Judge, just giving Adelson an opportunity to be heard.
Mrs. Adelson, you certainly can continue. However, the court can take into consideration the utter lack of remorse that you are displaying. Please proceed if you desire to do so.
Where is the evidence before July 18th, 2014 at 10:50 a.m. that revealed that I had any involvement in this vile and horrific act? Where is the solicitation and conspiracy evidence? The state needed to show that there was evidence before the murder to convict me. The state couldn't show that because there wasn't any evidence. They were trying an innocent person. It makes you wonder if the jurors were sleeping when the state had Sergeant Corbett on the stand for hours. Their own star witness testified that my phone was never, I repeat, never at my son's house on the night of the murder. The state's theory that my husband and I dropped off money to my son was blown out of the water by their own witness. And yet, the state continued to push that story, that lie of the so-called money drop to the jury through the remainder of the trial. And the jury bought into it, hook, line, and sinker. Reasonable doubt. Many months ago, my attorneys filed a motion for a change of venue. An expert witness testified that Tallahassee had been barraged with over 9 years of negative social media, printed news, television news, and podcast publicity about my family. He explained to the court, both with evidence and demonstratives, that for me to receive a fair trial, it needed to be held in any of the researched and designated areas in the state of Florida other than Tallahassee. All I wanted was a level playing field, but the court wanted the trial here in the hotbed of Tallahassee. I sat through 3 days of jury selection. 180 potential jurors were asked if they had developed an opinion in my case. Those that answered yes also added, "I believe she is guilty." Not one person, not one, said, "I think she may be innocent." That should have been a clue to the court to grant our motion for a change of venue, but the court denied the motion. One of my jurors admitted during jury selection that she had background information concerning what one of the state's witnesses would be testifying about. Why was she allowed to be on my jury?
What moment?
Another juror.
Mrs. Fulford,
Oh, I didn't hear you.
Mr. Zollman, again, this has nothing to do with elocution of any sort. This is a raising of grievances which are properly given to the appellate court. What does any of this have to do with sentencing?
Grab just one moment, please.
This is wild. My name is Grant Smith Ellis. I'm watching this live with you. Donna Adelson has now been cut off twice, ladies and gentlemen, by Judge Everett. These are just absolute scenes. I've never seen anything like this in my life. Donna Adelson is, along with Harvey Adelson, was cut off as she's attacking the jurors, the witnesses, and Judge Everett wouldn't let her do it. Judge Everett said, "This is not an elocution. What is this? What are you doing, Miss Adelson?" And stopped her from speaking twice. My name is Grant.
Turn that phone off or step out.
Oh goodness, not a good time to have a phone ring. Oh, I just trembled in horror. Did you see me recoil in horror at that phone going off? Oh, this is so bad. I honestly don't know what to say. I can't believe she's doing this. He told her to stop. See, absolute scenes. I've never seen anything like this. I don't think anyone's ever going to see anything like this ever again. My name is Grant Smith Ellis, and I am baffled. I am a baffled man. I'm a baffled towel. I don't know what to make of this. What is she doing? Why didn't she listen to Judge? Judge told her, "I'm going to use this against you. You are showing an utter lack of remorse." She kept talking. What are you doing? He told you to shut up or change gears. You didn't. Then you started attacking the jurors. Are you out of your mind, Donna Adelson? Oh, God, Harvey Adelson had to get up and leave. Oh, that's absolutely brutal. Listen, this whole thing has just gone to hell in a handbasket. Oh, my God. I can't even believe what I'm seeing unfold right now. This is just absolutely incredible. Yep, no, I don't doubt it, Peach Pie, that Judge Everett is fair, but that was just a terrible moment for a phone to
What
ring.
happened to Danny is unforgivable. But I am an innocent woman convicted of this terrible crime without evidence. Danny was a brilliant legal scholar. He would have been appalled at the total lack of justice that went on during my trial. He would have been embarrassed to have his name associated with it. There are two crimes here. The first was Danny being viciously murdered. The second one is taking my life, the life of an innocent woman. Convicting me should not be retribution for death. That's not justice for Dan. I've always respected the law. I've never gotten a parking ticket, but I'm going to prison for a murder I did not commit. I do intend to file an appeal so that hopefully I have the opportunity to be given a trial outside of Tallahassee. 11 years ago, Danny was murdered and taken from all of us who loved him. For the past 9.5 years, the state has broadcast to the world including Danny's parents and sister, that I hired hitmen to kill him. Never in a million years would I have wanted Danny to be harmed or killed, nor could I ever do something that would leave these two small boys to grow up without him. I love these boys more than life itself. This is a lifetime of loss for these children. They didn't deserve this.
And it did not. It basically ended there. It did not go well for Donna Adelson. If you missed it, we'll end the recap the way that we started with the sentencing from Judge Everett. It just all crashed for Donna Adelson. A terrible decision, a terrible moment for her, a terrible, terrible approach, and this is how Judge Everett decided to render his ruling, if you missed it earlier.
Coordination to bring the murder of Professor Markel to fruition was significant in this case. These were not crimes of chance or opportunity, and these crimes also required you to conspire with your son and others. You certainly can choose to deny your involvement and maintain innocence. The court finds the evidence in this case is clear. You will be sentenced accordingly this afternoon. The jury has found you guilty on charges of first-degree murder, conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, and solicitation to commit first-degree murder, and the court previously adjudicated you guilty as to these same charges on September 4th of this year. On count one of the indictment for first-degree murder, you are hereby sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole or release pursuant to sections 782.04 and 775.082 sub 1 sub a Florida statutes. On count two of the indictment, conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, you are hereby sentenced to 30 years in the Department of Corrections that will run consecutive to count one. The court will also sentence you to 30 years in the Department of Corrections on count three. Counts 2 and 3 are to run concurrent with each other, but consecutive to count one. As to the fees and costs, the clerk can please announce those at this time.
All right, folks, my name is Grant Smith Ellis. You saw it there. Donna Adelson sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole for the murder of Dan Markel, plus 30 years to be served consecutively to that sentence. Is there more coming? Wendy Adelson, will she be indicted? Harvey Adelson, after his performance today, will he be indicted? What is next from Georgia Kappelman and Sarah Dugan for the state's attorney's office in Florida? Who knows? Are they well rested and ready to move forward with another indictment? Time will tell. We have a towel poll to end our recap before I say goodbye to the towel friends. Where should we send Donna Adelson? Donna Adelson is one. Most people, 59%, want to send her to Siberia. 41% say Commander Bucktowel can guard her in South Dakota. Love 7 Loyalty MHA asks, can you break down how many years that is? Well, it's basically infinite years because she has to serve life without parole. And then if she somehow, I guess, dies and gets reincarnated, then she has to serve 30 more years because it's life without parole plus 30 more years. It's actually 30 more years plus 30 more years, but those 30 years get to run consecutive. So it's technically an infinite sentence. I don't really know how to answer that question. She's technically in jail until she dies, and then if she dies and gets reincarnated, she has to go back to jail for 60 years or 30 years. So I guess the answer is infinite. She is in jail for an infinite amount of time, and if she somehow dies, she has to go back to jail. Now, I'm not aware of anyone since Jesus who has died, come back to life, and went on about their day. Well, Lazarus, I guess, technically. But technically, Jesus, I'm pretty sure, died and came back from the dead after Lazarus. So technically, the last person I'm aware that died, came back to life, and went about their business was Jesus. I do not think Donna Adelson is Jesus for a number of reasons. One, she was involved with killing someone. Jesus flipped some tables over when he was mad about people in the temple. He never killed anyone, so she's not Jesus. All right? It's just a very logical proof. Jesus never killed anyone. Donna Adelson killed someone. Therefore, Donna Adelson is not Jesus. As such, Donna Adelson is 99.99999% certain to not die and come back to life, and therefore her sentence is eternity. She has to die in prison. Now, I want to leave open the small chance that somehow this woman manages to die and come back to life. If that happens, I don't think it's ever happened before, she might technically be able to get out of prison, and then she has to go back to prison for 30 years. All right. Oh, yes. Allie would like to let us... Oh, my pleasure, love, 7 loyalty. But Allie would like to let us know, technically, there might have been some zombies at a certain point in time where that happened to. Now, Allie, I don't really know a lot about zombies. I watched the movie 28 Days Later one time. That doesn't really make me an expert in zombies. I'm more of an expert in Jesus. So as far as I'm concerned, the last person to die and come back to life was Jesus. And I'm certain to a reasonable degree of towel scientific certainty that Donna Adelson is not Jesus. So therefore, she's going to die in prison. All right, good. We all on the same page? A little bit of a detour from what we were talking about, but somewhat on point. All right, so in short, Donna Adelson is going to prison for the rest of her natural life. She is not going to get out of prison, and the big question is who is going to be indicted next. A lot of people think it's going to be Wendy. A lot of people think it's going to be Harvey. I think only Georgia Kappelman and Sarah Dugan really know the answer. My name is Grant Smith Ellis. I'm going to go talk to the towel friends for a little bit. It is about 5:45. Let's end this recap. That was a good 30-minute recap. Thank you so much for watching. At the end of the recap, let me just note this is a public information service. It's designed to educate, inform, and entertain the wider public, such as to engender cogent public discourse and ward off the usurpation of our representative forms of government worldwide. There's no ads. There's no sponsors other than the ads that YouTube runs. There's no ads. There's no sponsors. There's no conflicts of interest. It is just me doing this because I feel informing you is important. It costs me a lot of money. I have to spend money on software and hosting and all this other stuff. A lot of other streams, they have their own ways of raising funds. I don't do that. I just tell you, here are the costs. It's a user-supported aggregate. You want to help out, you don't have to pay to do it. You can you can subscribe, but what keeps it going is the user support. If I just constantly lost $500 a month, I don't think I could really do this, okay? But you all help me live and not starve. God bless all of you. Furthermore, some announcements at the end of this recap before I go talk to the towel friends. Tomorrow, Tuesday, October 14th, we will have a towel trivia stream. I've decided I can do it. All right, I have to go to the doctor tomorrow morning. If we do the test and towel's feeling all right, I'm going to come sit with you and I'll tell, if it's good news, I'll be in a good mood. If it's bad news, I'm going to be in a bad mood. Either way, I'm going to want to talk to you. So we're going to talk. All right, Towel will go to the doctor in the morning, and then we'll do towel trivia. Bossy, Texas Chick, and Bella are literally running around in their house right now. You don't understand. Bella is running in circles. Bossy, Texas Chick is chasing her because I'm talking about trivia. Now, Rue and Toffee are conspiring right now because they have plans to take over the entire state of Massachusetts. Rue thinks he can be mayor of Massachusetts. That's not really a thing. But as we found from our research, dogs have been elected mayor in various cities and towns around the United States. So mayor of the area of Boston sounds good. Don't vote Mayor Wu, vote for Rue. We've talked about this. Now, Rue's also very excited. Toffee Towel's excited. Oh, Toffee Towel, hold on one second. Now, you might be saying, sir, you're still technically in the recap. Why are you getting Pete Bunny Towel? Well, listen. Pete Bunny Towel would just like to let you all know that he doesn't like the communists, and also he likes Toffee Towel. Now, Toffee Towel is not Donna Adelson. Toffee Towel is a bunny, and he likes Toffee Towel very, very, very much. Now, Toffee Towel, if you would like to go, I don't know what about, oh, lettuce. If you would like to go, there are no lettuce restaurants. Okay, he says he will take you out into a field and you two can eat lettuce together as long as you don't like the communists. It's very important to him that you disclaim all affiliation with the communists. Ideally, you'll also condemn the communists, but at a bare minimum, you cannot be involved with the communists. Is this what you say to every woman or bunny? Well, they're technically female bunnies. Is this what you say to every woman you want to date? The first question you ask them is whether they're okay with disclaiming affiliation with the communists? Do you find this works well for you? He says it's his pickup line on Hinge. Who made you a Hinge? What is wrong with you, Pete Bunny Towel? All right. I think we know, Toffee. Listen, Pete Bunny Towel's high maintenance. He figured out how to make a hinge. You don't understand. He's a stuffed bunny, and he made a hinge for himself. Oh, goodness. My life is a theater of the absurd. Anyway, the point is we'll be playing trivia tomorrow. Let's aim for after lunch. So 12:30, 1 p.m., maybe closer to 2. And then also, let's think about Wednesday. There's going to be a stream for the CCC public meeting. Please tune in early in the morning. I mean, it's not necessarily as important as some of these trials, but I want to get folks chatting. Maybe we'll do some trivia before the CCC hearing, mostly because I think people watching regulatory hearings, much like when we talked about the law earlier today that I'm working on related to the special prosecutor process, I think getting people engaged in how the quote sausage is made and the regulatory drafting process and the codification and sort of the nature of the Roberts Rules of Order and how the legislative apparatus interfaces with the regulatory apparatus and the bifurcated nature of an Article I court's function as both a rulemaking and adjudicatory body. Oh, goodness, ladies and gentlemen, so much to talk about. I think that's a great way to get people interested in our democracy, just like learning about the law earlier today that I want to write. Well, I already wrote it. I want to get it passed into law. And someone was like, Grant, are you telling me that people take you seriously to the point where you can just walk in there, tell them that you want this to be a law, and they'll do it? Yes, I don't do it that often because when I do it, they're like, oh no, Grant's here. Oh dear God, make him go away. No, I'm very amicable and friendly. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, look at what Allie and Rue sent in the towel chat. It is a super towel fox with a bullhorn shouting good luck. Oh, this has just made my day. Oh, you little super towel fox. I'm going to give you a little head pats. Look at him. Look at how excited he is. He is as excitable as I am when talking about the interactive, deliberative democratic process as made manifest in the regulatory apparatus or the lawmaking process. You don't understand. There is nothing I like so much. There's nothing that makes me as happy, and maybe this is not really a good sign. My eudaimonia or summum bonum as a human seems to be encouraging people to get involved in the lawmaking or regulatory process. All right. Okay. Towel friends, it was a very good day to spend with you. God bless all of you. I went way over on my recap. We'll see you tomorrow for trivia. We will, hold on. 4 minutes. I will see you tomorrow for Towel Trivia, Wednesday for the CCC stream. God bless you so much. Thank you so much for all your support. And I kind of just melded the recap into my ending there. So again, public information service designed to engender and cogent public discourse. Thank you for all your support. See you tomorrow for trivia. Let me drop the links in the chat. Thank you for that super chat. I know some of you asked earlier, or LS, or someone was asking me what's the best way to support directly. If you want to feed Little Towel, go ahead, throw Little Towel a donation. It'll just go to server costs or whatever other bill I'm going to get. I need to pay my Pacer bill to get court documents. But anyway, this Super Towel Fox is amazing. Towel loves you all very much. Great to see you, Colleen and Allie and Peach Pie and Francesca Towel. And who else was in there? Everyone's under weird usernames because of the YouTube issue. Love 7 Loyalty, Bossy Texas Chicken, Bella, all of you so much. Thank you. I appreciate every single one of you for chatting today. Intense subject matter, but it's easier to talk about it with you all. Good night, Grant and Peep, says Allie. Good night, Toffee and Rue and Allie and Commander Buck and Colleen Henry. And I'll end this way. This is a public information service. You know that it's designed to help others, but really, if you want to pay it forward, it's not about donating to me or subscribing or like, I don't really care about that. I want people to be informed and engaged, so I'm thrilled you're all here, but what I care about is you paying it forward. It's not so much like, yes, you pay it forward in the chat, and I appreciate all of your camaraderie, but what I want to leave you with, and why I do this at the end every day of the stream that when I'm live, is I'd like you, when you're not watching this stream, to just have an imprint maybe left on your mind somewhere, your soul, that when you confront a situation and you're given the opportunity to pay it forward, do you look for that opportunity to do an unconditional small act of service and show love and compassion for your fellow humans? Now, you know what I'm going to say. One of my favorite ways to look for opportunities to do that is donating to homeless veterans. We should not have one veteran in the United States of America that is homeless against their will. They want to go live in the woods, we're not going to stop them, but not against their will. That's wrong. It undermines the integrity of the United States. They served us, they protected us, and we have to do the same for them. Times might be hard, but that means that they're even more difficult for our homeless veterans, and we can support them, ladies and gentlemen. It's a bipartisan issue. Who is going to stand up there other than some damn communists and say they don't want to support our veterans? Towel loves America. You should support our homeless veterans. God bless you if you do. Second, what if you love animals? Towel loves animals, as you know. That's why I put them up on the screen so often. You can donate to animal shelters run by veterans. I know, I researched this. There are even animal shelters that take in dogs to train them to be service dogs for veterans. Genius. Now, say you can't find an animal shelter run by veterans. Have you considered donating to animal shelters in general? Everyone loves animals. Please do that. If you live in the UK, you can donate to The Big Issue, which is a way to help people experiencing homelessness. Really good operation. They sell newspapers. They become self-sustainable. Towel loves it. It's not communist. It's self-sufficiency. See what I'm saying? I hate the damn commies. Furthermore, you can also consider something like waving to a person on the street or smiling, reaching out to a friend or family member you haven't heard from in a while. Towel Nana called me earlier today. I have to call her back. And furthermore, it could be something as simple as donating 200 tomato plants to a friend and having them designated honorary towels, as Francis Frutrell did one time, forevermore. Yes, in that way, ladies and gentlemen, I believe we can bring about a new realpolitik, not centered on expanding, preserving, and demonstrating our power, but instead centered on preserving, expanding, and demonstrating our capacity to engage in small acts of service rooted in unconditional love. In that way, we'll be able to find our towel summum bonum or eudaimonia in the Latin or the ancient Greek respectively, living up to our greatest good, rippling out small acts of service outward into the universe, and therefore bringing about a new digital epoch defined by Aquarius the water bearer standing tall and carrying a towel. See, I've had a lot pent up and I wanted to say it. God bless all you towel friends. I'm going to get out of here. I'm tired. Towel loves you very much. Have a great rest of your night. Thank you for being with me. My name's Grant Smith Ellis. I appreciate every one of you, all of your engagements, all your chats. Towel friends on the X and the YouTube, we're both signing off together today. Until I see you again, all 6,000 of you over on the X and all of you towel friends on the YouTube, can't express how much it means to me to have spent some time with you today. So glad you all got to catch up and chat. I'll see you for trivia tomorrow and then the CCC on Wednesday. My name's Grant Smith Ellis, and I love you all dearly. Until next time.